shine off the light. It's gonna be right there.
Right to the lion's den.
Stop wasting the time.
The
Come on.
camera's here for your protection.
I actually said right there next to Ms. Thompson.
You don't want to be where it's.
He's gonna need to work with you on this, so he might. Yes. Okay. Quickly, if you did not have an opportunity on yesterday or today to create your context, process, content poster, content, process, context poster, I did make a copy of what Lindsay gave us on last Tuesday, I think it was, where it explains the guiding questions for what you should be thinking about looking at your content for a lesson, how that content would help you to create the process that the students will end up doing, and then the content which the students are going to learn the content. So I'm going to take the first 10 to 15 minutes, and I want you to have an I know that a couple of you finished 2 of the sections, or you hadn't had a chance to write it on your poster yet, so that you would have an opportunity to finish up your poster. After that 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to share out briefly what our lesson is, and then we're going to take the time to look at each of the posters and do kind of a gallery walk like we did the first time, and put suggestions, different questions that you can ask that teacher that's teaching that lesson that would help them to tweak their lesson, or what did we learn yesterday? What's the word? No. I was reading it. Yeah.
Adjust, modify.
What was the word?
What do you say? Yeah.
It wasn't from, it's from a training that we had.
Alignment? We'll just start.
A.
Oh, I know what word. No.
It's not a
That's
sub-
Articulate.
These two help me.
I wasn't there.
Last thing we did when we,
said acquisition.
a lesson. Amplify. That's
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Oh,
I didn't.
You sound like the
If
kid.
you were sitting here talking this way and not that way, I might have.
Sorry, my apologies.
Okay. So we want to give them suggestions, feedback on the lesson that they have according to what they've written and what they explained to us. They can amplify or something they may need to add to their lesson that would help the students to make sure that they have the content in context. Okay? So we're going to take the first 10 to 15 minutes. I'll check in 10 minutes and see where you are. If we need the extra 5, then I'll give you 5 more minutes. And then we'll have each person kind of give a brief synopsis of what your lesson is. And then we'll take that last 30 minutes or so to rotate through the posters and put suggestions on them.
Okay.
So 10 minutes starting now. And
And you look at a lesson that you're gonna do, like,
You don't work on over there, you wanna work on
into the 3 columns.
I don't know where Sharp.
She's not feeling well.
I haven't seen her since
She's feeling
lunchtime.
sick.
I think I have one downstairs, I can go get it. I have one, let me go get it.
No,
When are you going to get?
Okay, I thought we were supposed to get a PLC.
No, we don't have any more.
On Thursdays, you all were with math. On Tuesday, you all are with Ms. Johnson, 119.
So I am in the right place.
You pick a grade. Like, what do you have more of, 6th, 7th, or 8th grade?
So I have 2 6th graders, I have 1 7th grader, 2, I have 6 kids. 3 8th graders,
Thanks,
7th
hon.
and 2 6th, yeah, they're spread out.
Well, Ms. Rojas doesn't have any. Oh, partner, you want to work with math?
Oh, yeah.
I've already created my, like, I guess I can share what I'm going to share.
I can adapt.
Let me go. So,
The markers are here as well.
Hey,
Joe, you want orange marker?
Always
No, all my
green,
markers are
right?
downstairs.
So, pass together, we use this.
Okay.
Together, right? We use
All right, so.
Explain to me what all this is. Guiding question.
All right, 3 point, at 3 is
Yeah,
using,
okay.
Okay, now is this a ready to teach next week?
yep,
I don't know. 2.3 yeah, it should be.
This is what y'all getting ready to teach?
I don't know where these came.
This is because this is the one that we did last week or week before.
Oh, okay.
I don't
So then
remember.
is this the new one?
This was
No, the model. So we need the. This is the model.
Ms. Sharp was as to keep our poster and gave us kind of the direction. So your quick is under content is your nouns, your peaks, your SEs, goals, if there's data that you're using throughout this
Do a new one.
lesson,
All
vertical
right.
line. Okay?
With the teeth and.
Your process is here. Remind of the things that should go in each of those columns.
You draw straight line, the measure something. Stick to the. It's a stick. Oh, it's stick. It's a sticky.
These are our nails.
So now, this is what you're doing. This is the actual lesson that you're going to teach.
Okay. We're gonna be dealing with.
So you got your framework up? Kind of look.
yeah.
Okay, so in the curriculum framework, what's the,
The process, yes, you start.
Yes, ma'am.
come on, tell us where are we?
We're trying to, we're not ready, said next week, right? Or when do you need this lesson? Lesson for next week? Yeah, let me, that'll be useful. Give us a minute. You said 10 minutes, right?
And 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
We'll be there. Okay. Oh, boy.
So I know the township thing has been done. The recipes have been done.
We're
Today,
going to decimals.
Today we started families.
Yeah, they
fact
just
families.
understand
Tomorrow you'll probably be working on fact families. Today,
in order
today is
What are we
good.
starting on Tuesday?
for that.
Let's put the decimals, let's go.
Okay, so what's the T code?
The thick is still point. P
Representing fraction.
and decimals. The fractions and decimals. Hold up, give you the right
So
one.
it's the same T.
Ms. Walker, let me, sorry. P, addition and fractions of fractions and decimals.
The launch, they're gonna be.
6:30.
Boxes that they previously made. And they're gonna work with
And
reduced in the march.
fraction.
Feeling the box. So, you know, we correlate feeling to problem. So they've drawn that correlation.
Fraction and decimals. Okay? So
Okay,
what's the process? Process is verbs, strategies, interventions, different.
goal for that lesson would be, just give me. Our goal is. So what, oh, the, is the verb, know what this is there.
So we're gonna review.
What the students are gonna do is they're gonna find out, goal is to identify, the decimal notation.
So that's content?
Yeah.
Okay.
Notation, and they need to know the process, the algorithm, adding and subtract.
We're gonna review the,
We're skipping one thing.
To identify what?
Decimal notation, and they need to develop rhythms for adding and subtracting.
Okay. To identify decimal notations and what?
Interpret digits to the right of decimals. Interpret the digits to the right of decimals, and also
The one that we did was for a different lesson. We're doing one for a lesson.
so they're viewing systems from the previous investigation.
okay,
To the right.
the digits.
Yeah, they had to come up with, they came up with all the process.
I know, but that was one.
Those fractions. Okay, so now we're
So
doing
we
this.
just fractions, so we're doing decimals.
Okay. This is the
Also,
content.
also we need,
Right.
value.
So that's more content.
They need to know the importance of place value
They're gonna view the prison, so we're
when
gonna
adding
review, we're
decimals.
gonna talk about it. Prisons, 24 blocks from the previous investigation, and students had to,
We understand.
create arrangements.
Unit,
Okay.
hold up, let me see what's up here.
But how do you know?
I see goals, data. Okay, vertical line. So that's probably good for content.
The process is the verb
It's like helping think about
So what are the verbs?
algorithm, effect, efficient algorithm
Efficient algorithm?
for subtracting decimals.
No, that's what I say that's the formula I said. When you look at rectangular prism, what dimension are we looking at? Length, width, height. Length, yeah.
Efficient algorithm.
Okay, what else do we need to do?
So process the verbs
Now
like
you know the rectangular.
addition. Is that a verb? Addition and
Addition and
subtraction?
subtraction of decimal. Make sure.
This is gonna help them visualize.
Do they need to know how to, are they converting decimals or are we already giving them decimals?
They already have decimal. They're just adding and subtracting.
Where they can
Okay.
see.
And then also we're gonna talk about estimation strategies.
Okay, so these are the, so what else is
Made
there?
a blunder, but we'll get what it does.
Wait, is this wrong?
No, we're all right. You can't get what, don't worry. Don't worry. All right.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'm all right.
What's the intervention?
Okay, so these are
That's
verbs.
also changing decimal representations. They're supposed to go between decimals and fractions. For instance, my 1/4
5.
exactly make a connection. The value of changing the representations of fractions and decimals.
I mean, I done this.
Okay.
So that's all the verbs. So what are interventions and stuff?
What do we mean by intervention?
These are the verbs.
Yeah, allow students to,
Strategies, interventions, and differentiation.
they're gonna do pair work, think pair,
Okay.
So we're gonna
Obviously, need our additional 5 minutes.
have them like
We need 20.
start with the
Are we gonna get it done?
Planning,
Think pair share.
think, pair, share. We're gonna do the lineup.
gonna break down the layers. Layer.
Oh, but Miss Sharp is very, she just 3.
Oh.
Yeah. Teacher will break down each layer.
She just 3. I told her she's,
No, she wouldn't do that.
Alright, so what is the learning experience? Like what's the lesson with this? Like is there anything like, you know, the recipes or the land, is there anything?
okay, this is about, okay, there's going to be an activity going to the store.
Then
Going to the store and you what?
They have a lab sheet.
Yeah, because that's how we're doing it, right?
Me?
we're gonna
Mr. Block and me? You want me? Ah,
And we're gonna have money to represent that, right?
me? Early dismissal? Ah,
Okay, I'm gonna write it.
I thought early dismissal. Oh, sorry, use trading cards. That's what I was trying to remember. Trading cards. No, well, we're gonna do trading cards. That's how between represent.
We're gonna use a trip to the store to illustrate decimals.
So it says, and algorithm, addition, subtraction, summation, strategy. On the thing.
if we show them the prism at 24 and then
Before, it was about the spices, how we going into it. So, which is what we need on my.
so if I show them the prism, rectangle prism, and then I take all of it out, and I'm like, okay, let's just start with the base. How many cubes, or how many layers, how many cubes?
Alright.
Because
All right,
So differentiation.
I'm gonna use,
Do we have any manipulatives for this?
no, we're gonna use grids and
We're gonna grids and
grids
numbers.
and
Okay. So
Oh, that's a.
that's how Miss John, how you check? Oh, you had everything in your head.
That's why they got these.
That is so cool. Everything is so easy now.
okay. So what's the context? Materials, logistics, timer, music, technology, grouping, classroom arrangements.
Okay, we're gonna use,
So for materials and stuff, we probably need, like
it's just an arrangement, so it
an
doesn't matter.
example.
Oh, but then when we
the content materials.
Context, materials.
So now we're here, right?
so they
Use,
How many blocks? Like this.
there's this thing, tic-tac-toe, and they get in pairs. Yeah, tic-tac-toe, there's,
It's not illustrated, it's 7th books.
they're gonna work in. And then,
Okay, are they mixed ability pairs?
the what?
Ability pairs?
Yeah, go ahead. It's actually pairs or groups of 4, depending on what you want.
So that's not the right.
No, but that's not the, that's not the content. Right,
Yes.
that's the
Okay.
What else do we have?
It said class.
Okay, did you put the,
Okay, so it's gonna be.
the,
Grids and number lines?
Stop it.
Stores over here. Seats over here. Okay,
Okay.
so from
that's it, that's all we need.
justify solutions.
Okay, we're gonna
Arrange the room.
use lab sheets, we already talked about pairs.
Find and justify solutions to education problems in both tables, graphs, and our.
Okay, we're done.
So chart, we might want to make like, some coins on the flip chart.
Flip chart, I'm trying to have the store,
Okay.
have the store paper on the chart. They get to have money and they go.
Okay.
Specifically about. Yeah. What an intersection.
Okay. So
I'm just saying.
Thank you so much.
No, you're welcome.
Located.
So when this,
They're looking
this is not
to-
the checks that I have.
can I have the orange marker? Sorry.
This is wrong.
I see when you talk.
See what? These are all the entities they listed that we supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
That keyword you see. Let me put it up here. What is that keyword you see?
Strategies. And then
This is what we're doing. Let me just show you. At least 10. Now, 6 they have up here.
And algebraic equation.
Okay, well, 2, it looks for absolute.
It's for the whole thing.
But then, that's all the ticks they have.
I know, just the fraction, integers, and all numbers.
This is using this before representation. There's nothing to fraction or adding subtraction.
Miss, put that one right here. We have a little space in between. Okay.
Tired. I'm supposed to be going downtown today. I don't know.
I'm gonna start right next. I mean,
You know what? I don't know. I was gonna go to Math in America,
yeah.
but you don't get to go today. It was yesterday for you.
Go.
Go for 7.
We can. I was the Saturday. I was right. I don't need to do December the 12th. Yeah, I'll do that.
I don't know what December 12th is.
I am.
The Super Saturday or the whatever. Hey, give me a pencil.
No.
Can I please have a pencil?
She's alright. I thought it was a math pencil. It was a math pencil.
I know, don't she say?
I thought it was a math pencil. All right, Miss
Hush fell over the room.
Hush.
I don't like this kid. Okay, we
Can
have
I have a pencil, please?
we have 25.
I'm having it right way.
So we're gonna take real quick and brief. I don't want you to tell me everything that's on the poster. Quickly tell us what the lesson is that you have planned for that's on your poster. Don't tell us everything that's on there because we're gonna go to your poster. Read. We'll have the questions with us and we'll put up suggestions or whatever needs to be put up on your poster. So we'll start with Ms. Rojas because I know she was ready and geared to go. She's just gonna give us a quick synopsis of what the lesson is. And that's it.
Okay. Today we started the unit on similarity. So we introduced it. We did the first investigation. So this is the next investigation on similarity. They are looking at an original image, an image that's 75% on a copy machine of the original, and one that's been copied 150%. And they are figuring out, they're comparing how those are similar.
Okay,
That
so
was
that's,
enough information.
we understand what they are going to do in class. So when you go to her poster, you'll be looking at her plan for what she has put down as the content of it, the process she's gonna use, the context in which the kids are gonna actually explore the lesson, okay? 6th grade,
We're gonna be adding, subtracting decimals. And before now, we've been adding fractions. So the first thing when we get in is we want to make a connection between fractions and decimals. And once we start going, introduce the group and the number line, we kind of bring them back to what they know. And then what they're gonna have like store paper, and they're gonna have money. We're gonna relate the decimals to money, and they get to buy stuff. How much change do you have? And we're gonna talk about the place value in the decimals and how we need to line them up. Right now, we're not doing algorithms. That's my fault. We're not supposed to do that. I was thinking ahead. Right now, we're just introducing them to decimals. And then eventually, that's where it's gonna end.
Very good. Thompson.
Okay, so we started the unit on, I was gonna say building. Okay, so we started the unit on where they're looking at rectangular prisms and they're designing a rectangular box. So,
I didn't want you to
on
do
this
that. That was
one,
all
we are
awesome.
developing a formula for volume. In today's lesson, we looked at volume kind of, but we more so focused on surface area and volume together. And so in this particular lesson, they're just looking at volume. So that's it.
And if you put yours under the clockish,
Yeah.
you can use the little clips.
Hers it has a little sticky.
No, hers doesn't have stickies.
Oh, okay.
There's clips over there.
Clips on the, just what the lesson is, and then they're gonna look at, they'll look at just those two on yours. So you can clip there. Here.
Yes.
I got you. Yeah, she was a little short.
Quick synopsis, Torres, of where your students are and what this lesson what the lesson is itself.
Okay, so we just started moving straight ahead, so they've just learned what a linear relationship is and how to represent it with an equation, a table, and a graph. So now we're going to be looking at two linear relationships and what the solution to those two linear relationships would be on a graph or in a table. So they would have to graph both of them, point of intersection and find the solution, and then a table of both and then find the same dependent value for one and value.
What grade is that, please?
Seventh graders.
7th grade. And that is
So
one of the lessons that they do for 8th grade.
Yeah, we started it first.
And we've already done that, so.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so 6th grade, go to 6th grade poster, 7th, gonna go there, 8th, and then 7th pre-AP. Start at your poster. We are going to rotate clockwise after we start our poster.
You want us to write on that poster?
I didn't bring no sticky notes up here with you. Hold on. So strong.
I need to get out of that.
So what are we doing? Who you talking to? I don't have any sticky notes. So for now, why don't we just take a sheet of paper? This is Ms. Walker.
So you can have that.
You can just write down some notes, and then we can give those.
She's gonna go get
We
some.
can give those notes to the person. She's gonna get some sticky notes. In the meantime, you can go ahead and start looking at, let's go ahead and rotate, and I'll rotate with you. Let's go ahead and rotate clockwise.
Okay, we're ready. All right, so we can start thinking.
Clockwise is that way. If you take your paper with you, you can kind of look over that, what they have planned. If there's something that you can suggest to them as far as their process, their context, if you have different things that you may have done a lesson similar that you want to share with them, give them some feedback on what you see in their content, their process, and their context, and you can do all three. We're going to take 4 minutes at each poster to look over all of it and kind of give a little bit of feedback. Ms. Johnson will be right back with the sticky note, so you can slap the sticky note up there in whichever column you're giving your feedback in. Okay? So our 4 minutes is starting now. If we see that it's too much time, we'll change it. And I got so many sticky notes. A gajillion sticky notes.
Thank you. Oh, wow. So this is on your TV, or you just came up with that?
Hey, woman. Oh, get started.
Very fine.
If you got questions, you put it up there.
No, I want to clarify so I can ask a good question.
Oh, God.
We'll talk about it later. Okay.
All right, this is excellent.
Suggestions or things you can see.
Good job.
Excellent. But you staying right
I like that.
Okay, so we're looking at all three or
Great, yes,
all
ma'am.
three? Okay. So content, what are the learners going to be able to
We're not gonna do that.
determine?
This is gonna move down to,
Okay, SMART goals, the specific measure, where's it going?
you, the review of that, we're gonna do that anymore.
I
We don't
guess
review
if
those?
you're drinking in
We're
your
not
goals,
gonna review it in eighth
right? I think we
grade. On the
could.
new teach, this
Right,
is gonna go down.
Okay.
For this, we're gonna go to seventh grade.
Goal, that's the team.
Do we have any questions?
She said they were gonna use money, actual play money. So, yes. She said they're focusing on density.
Okay, so let's same as the objective.
Yes, because she told us that they were gonna try and build fractions.
I think that's what your goal could be your objective. What you want to do. So you're saying it's
They're using this teacher and if they're also using grids and number lines, then also will be a comp.
I like that. If you want to enlarge it by 25%. So the process.
Or she talking about making it solid.
Ms. Walker, you can write it next time.
No, I just, the process is what this is supposed to be.
So then,
I don't regularly.
I guess it's suggestion. I think that's what she needs.
Got any questions? Should this be?
The question I had was students, it was in 2000, there was 32 million Hispanics. Then in 2010, it was up to 50 million. So I asked the question, how does this change, the change between the group influence our society?
So the real,
Because they're growing, and because they're in numbers compared to the alien,
that's the very, very first thing. And actually that's a decimal question another way. Because the 3.8 doesn't mean 3 8/10 in that scenario. 3.8 million, how does that decimal, how does adding the word million afterwards change the value of that number?
That was kind of strategic. That was happening.
So their whole thing is like.
The Hispanics are one of the
That's right, I remember now.
demographic groups in the United States. And so I asked my students, how does that influence what people see in the community, the world, or whatever? So it does have more applications. I'm not sure if I'm about to change anything or add anything, but we're just asking.
I like this process.
Did we move on or more?
We're talking about to use that bottom corner one.
4 minutes? Oh,
Please tell me off.
Stay back here.
Oh, no, I am.
44 seconds.
Yeah, you had 4 minutes to look at all 3 columns. If you're done, just think about enhancing the lesson. Give a suggestion on enhancing.
I like that she underlined the keyword.
Okay. Press forward.
Where'd that partner go?
Very good.
I think I just won everybody.
Okay. 4 minutes has started.
Now we make it,
Shh, shh, be quiet. Stay focused on your poster.
Stay focused on your post.
Poster on which you're working.
At the way you describe such make accurate comparisons of measurements.
what else is there?
But it was like this,
Good job.
so I couldn't read it.
You're right.
Is that like this? No, actually, this is not this. This is doing this. This is the idea that when you fill something, you can think about filling it in layers. So when you're doing volume.
Check your attitude.
Miss Bean, come on, this is just
So maybe
an I'm not even trying to see nothing else.
Exactly.
I'm good.
Maybe, I'm fine.
You, how
You know
about
what
such a,
I'm
when you're the one who said it, think about it. And you blame somebody else for what you said.
Use potential as a way to describe size
Unless it's
change.
the
Make
prerequisite, like you're trying to figure out,
Okay, so her goals, her objective.
is this your goal? If you figure out how to line up decimals?
I guess those are the keys.
Seems like that.
This goal here.
Figuring out what's what, so it is how to line up decimals.
Are the goals the
Is it
same?
a format though? Goal before objective, it doesn't matter.
I don't think it matters.
So make accurate
Yeah.
comparisons and measurements.
But not your goals the same as your objective.
But not necessarily the goal.
Process.
I don't know. Using a trip to the store to illustrate it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's great question.
Yeah, we don't use those words. Yeah, at the end, we kind of teach conditions and traction first. You don't understand the concept and the formula, how that makes sense. In my class, we teach conceptual first. What does it mean? What is, being, so that then we introduce the formula, they already understand parts of the formula.
It doesn't need to be similar.
For volume and
Okay,
math.
real life scenarios.
I feel like this doesn't go together.
Okay, good.
Like this goes,
We got 1 minute left at the poster you're at.
One other copy
what
of
line up
the
is? Oh no, these are the.
I'm looking at her content. The photo, copy of photo, copy of
Where do you see that? I don't see real life scenarios using photos. I have some papers. A and B, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you have to show the partner in the face.
That's what you was mentioning, you mind evaluating? Have you ever done it in your time?
We're gonna start doing it.
Teachers are using this as like, how do you know? People doing it in this moment, like, you ever thought about that? Showing person, is that the word?
That's time, guys.
I think that'd be,
Where's Jennifer?
She was out today. She was.
okay. Just 6th grade? Additions.
Yeah, teach 6 and 3.
So she has her goal list. teachers go, need to know what things are placed down here. How students have done on that scene in the past. The two. How was the class today? You kick anybody out? This your stuff? Checking what I'm putting up there.
That's her.
I'm like,
Uh-oh. Thank you.
come over and check.
Okay, well, that's pretty cool, man. Okay, thank you. You didn't ask?
Oh, no, this is just a format.
That's what we did the last time.
Okay, but what, did you see to check for understanding?
Okay, that's the mic for the camera.
It's time to, I'm going to sit down.
Introduction.
You hear me? Stop.
Oh, right, you're teaching us about that, you know?
What will be the relevant? Oh,
Reduced to
No,
that's what happened.
that thing's right there. That's a marker.
Larger, bigger. Oh.
Tic-tac-toe. That's it.
Out right here.
We got 50 seconds left at this poster. This is the last poster.
Sure.
This is the last.
Was this one?
That was from last time.
Oh, okay.
She tried to slide that in on me, but I would love. Yeah, she tried to slide. Oh, that smells so good.
Actually, I smell burnt.
I sure thought it.
Once you have finished, you can return to your. You can return to your poster, guys. Rotate back to your poster.
Oh, to your post?
Look at the suggestion, yeah, look at your suggestions, look at your questions. And take about 2 to 3 minutes, just look at what was suggested. Woman, you teaching it, get up over there. And
We did.
you looked at what they said about your stuff already? Have you started making plans to make some adjustments?
Yes, because I was, yeah.
Yeah.
They asked for,
I used the
how
word
do you know what
wrong.
I said that I'm gonna use? I didn't have a spot to put that there. And then we didn't put the topic. This is introduction.
Fractions, just I should have put like we wrong.
All right. How does this relate to
No,
goal?
what specific?
We did not write, this is the text, okay? This is an introductive lesson.
What specific?
How does the goal relate to the T? I think that's the question.
I know, this is our goal. We are introducing this.
Excuse me? Who has the purple marker?
Purple marker?
What did he say? Changing
What specifically?
decimals and fractions.
I think that's a comment on my like.
Ms. Johnson?
I think that's a comment on my like.
Purple marker? What did
Ms.
you?
Strong.
Someone put it on there like this.
That's what she said. That's a comment on my like. That's what I was saying. And I put it here, but then I realized I put it over things so nobody could read. I was saying I like what you were talking about there. She should have been more. I should have been more descriptive. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to give away your color.
Percent of the wages.
Recognize there's nothing like equivalent. We don't have equivalent decimals. We have equivalent fractions. We'll
But that's what I'm saying.
The volume is
Well,
something
The question is, how is changing decimals to fractional division instruction? Basically, what we meant by this was just spiraling back in benchmarks, like what fractions and decimals.
What I said was representation. You're right.
No, here, just read it.
No.
No, I'm trying to explain it 4 times and I keep
You're
going
right.
wrong, so you
No.
So what are you gonna say, representation of that?
I want to use the right word. I was going to tell you, remember when we were talking about it, and I did this. It's a representation, we want to go back and forth from fractions to decimals.
Okay.
So my thing is, what is that word? You understand?
What is the word?
Hold up, my example was, if I tell you 1/4 is, and that's 25
Oh,
cents.
that's what she's saying, going back.
So I'm going back and forth from decimals to
Okay, that's what I'm saying, is how do you want me to explain that? You keep telling, and I've tried it 3 ways and it's wrong.
No, I'm just saying, we're using that word. There's a word.
Please finish up on your last statement.
There's just one word.
We're rewording.
Exactly.
To make it more clear.
Yeah.
Finish early, we gotta come up with a
You're gonna go between fractions and decimals. Like 1/4 is 25 cents. That is something we wanna begin to see.
We're trying to bring the fractions back in. So when we said changing decimals to fractions, the question was how does that relate? So then I said, okay, never mind, actually recognizing that some fractions and decimals are equivalent, and then that wasn't.
Interchangeable.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson.
That's what I'm here for, the vocabulary.
Ms. Johnson. You got that's the master key somewhere.
I didn't understand the concept.
Okay. I said, was that mine or yours? That was mine or yours?
Now, I have to,
Are these mine or yours? I think these are mine. Oh, man. These mine or yours?
now, let me ask
some
you
kind of punch note over my bag.
not a clarifying question, but a question as far as the process that we just followed. Now, I know we did with Miss, I don't remember her last name, the first name, Miss Charles. It was rushed, it was quick, but following the process and having time to sit down and actually do it before coming, or having enough time to really look at all 3 sections in their entirety and having the time to truly do it, do you see the value in the content, process, and context, that process? Do you see the value in thinking through those 3 different things? And even though it's stuff that we do all the time when we plan our lessons, and again, I always use this as an analogy. When we give the students the problem summary chart, it doesn't necessarily mean that every single question they're going to have time to sit down and truly do the full problem summary chart, just like you're not going to make a poster for every lesson that you're going to teach for the week. But going through the process kind of builds your stamina and kind of puts those things, kind of embeds them in your mind when you're doing lessons, to remember to think back through those questions. Is my goal going to lead to where I need my students to be at the end? And when I look at the process that I'm going to follow in the context that I'm giving my students, is it going to be enough to get them to the point that I needed them for the goal that I put in my content column? Any feedback, any questions as far as this process is concerned? Did you get good feedback on your posters? Is it something from the poster or something from one of us putting a sticky note on your poster that's going to help you with your lesson?
Oh.
At least one thing.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I'm sorry, did you want me to share?
I know you would. Sure. If you'd like to, that's fine. Go ahead. Sure.
Well, no, we had put up there about the changing decimals to fractions, and that started a whole conversation about being more clear with what the intent was, when the question was, how does that actually help with addition and subtraction of decimals? So it sparked a conversation between the 3 of us of what did we actually mean by that. And what we meant was reminding them that fractions and decimals are interchangeable. Like when we go through that 1/4 is the same thing as 25.25. So.
Very good. And we see how sometimes we give students directions or we say something to the students and it's not really, really clear what we meant. That same kind of thing happens when we're talking to each other. And then we can have the chance to clarify and make sure everybody's on the same page. Questions, comments, and concerns for the greater good of the group?
So for CBA, Thursday, right?
CBA is next Thursday.
And we have to finish on Thursday.
That is correct.
We have what on Thursday?
We have to finish, she said, on Thursday.
Oh, yeah, oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that 6 extra minutes gets the test out. So then they have the 68 minutes to take it.
Yes, ma'am.
I think this would be more beneficial if we could focus on like 2, if we're gonna do this and spend the whole time. Like if we could focus on 2 and we could see like Rojas's flip chart. Because then, like these questions I feel like that people are posting, it's just because we don't really know what the lesson's gonna look like. Like she had a question on hers, and I thought it all made sense together, but I feel like we don't have time to reflect. Like we don't have time to specifically ask, what did you mean by this question? You know what I mean? And it's hard to ask a good question if you don't know the whole picture. You
Right.
just know some information is on a poster based on some questions that were specifically asked.
And I know for me, I feel like I could have been very specific and written, paragraphs in each one of those things about everything that I wanted to do, but I didn't do that, so exactly, it might be unclear for
I want to
somebody.
pick up mine.
I just think
But just a snapshot.
Yeah, it's just a snapshot, so it's kind of like getting good feedback on that.
Yeah. It'd be cool to plan together and maybe do those 3 steps.
But there's something to be said for having to summarize, for having to break it down. And is it still clear when you take a 5-page thing and turn it into a snapshot? Is it still clear? Is your message still clear?
But if we're using this to look at it, this is not a snapshot. So this is what we're going around looking and judging, I don't want to say
Okay.
judging, but providing feedback for, then this is not a snapshot where that is. So
Okay.
it's those 2, maybe a different rubric for us.
I thought we
Okay.
could tweak it for our
Yes.
department,
I agree.
so that everybody's on the same page. Like if we want to say, because somebody, I was going through like what data influenced your teaching, you want to concentrate on that so that everybody has the same thing. So that if I go to have pictures, I know what to look for. So we could just come up with something as a department, and if we want to do this once in a while, we can do it, and then we look at certain things.
Like I would like to show you guys my flip chart, like Thompson, I would like to show a flip chart and say, here's the lesson, what's missing from this, because that's what
Yes.
students are gonna see. Students are gonna see this poster, they're gonna see what I present to them.
Yeah, yes.
And the extension of that will end up being that when we start looking at actual student work, and we did that a little bit, we didn't really define what we're looking for, so that everyone comes back or we're using that. And so part of what I went through yesterday at PLC training was the PLC student work protocol, where you just have one person, probably, well, in 6th grade we have 2 people, so we could do it. But you have someone bring in student work, and then they get to present why they chose that and what they did. And then we look at it, how it relates to the T. Did it meet that? If it was in the curriculum framework, were we supposed to use something different? Did we actually follow what was in there? And then we look at the student work. So you all gave some great suggestions. So
And the preventative measure to that would be to do this before we teach it. That would be the preventative to see, did the student work? Did they learn what they were supposed to learn?
Awesome. You all are awesome.
Thank you.
If you are going to curriculum collaboration, it does start at 5 and it is at PDC this time. Right?
What was it?
Riverside.
It was at Riverside.
Can you repeat?
Teachers, pardon
So
me.
did you tell Ms. Johnson what
Good
happened?
afternoon.
See you later, guys.
Just a
I'm
reminder that tomorrow, I'll have our
Done.
Can you repeat that?
email for the updates with regard to the
She was in a dental chair, she couldn't talk, so for 1 hour we drove. Somebody told me it was
They'll
a
be testing on
subway.
Tuesday. Also, students, you'll be able to get that information.
We're 4 teachers and we
You'll
had
be
to
able to get that
go.
information, posted on the lockers on the
It was not her, it was another teacher who told us. We got the PDC 4 of
Thank you and
us.
have a good evening.
So everybody went that direction. Then Miss Sharp calls me, where are you? I'm like, you know what, I'm done, I'm going home. This was 1 hour, 20 minutes driving around.
In traffic. Yeah, and then we got an email saying only to about Allen County. It was like,
Yeah, Miss Bay. Yeah. Somebody needs to say something.
5 o'clock.
Somebody needs to say something.
I'm going there.
Hey, did you check anything?
Oh yeah, check email, that's.
Check your email just to